thanks for joining the Chabby Gardener. We've come outside today. I want to thank Cody for telling me to put a hoodie on before I come out, because it is actually quite windy out here. We've got Storm Doris hitting the UK at the moment, which is quite blustery. Hopefully you can still hear me over the wind. Today we're going to be planting Lathyrus Odoratus to the common man, that's sweet pea. We've got these ones here, which we're giving away. They're by Fothergill Seeds, or Miss Fothergill Seeds, sweet pea, and they're Arthur Hellier. And they're quite cracking, so I'm quite looking forward to picking these in the summer. But before we can do that, we need to plant the things. So this is how I do it, and if you've gone on YouTube, you'll see lots of people messing around with things like bog rolls, toilet rolls. So you won't need one of these. I have tried with these before. The cardboard inserts just go all mushy and fall apart. The last time I used these was about 15 years ago. Obviously not with the toilet roll on, but they were just a complete failure. I mean, they really were. So we're going to be saying goodbye to the bog roll. That's the first thing. Now, we've taken our seed yesterday and we've soaked it just in water, and we've left those overnight. This is one thing I would say is quite important with sweet peas, because they've got quite a hard coating. So you're giving them the very best start by soaking them in water, and you'll notice that they'll swell up slightly, which is not uncommon. They've turned the water a bit of a mucky colour. Now I prefer to plant, and this is where it's controversial, in trays. Now sweet peas do have a really long root run. I had trouble saying that one, put my teeth in. So they do like quite deep soil. But if you've ever been to the garden centre in March and April, you'll find pots 9 centimetres with about 10 or 15 plants in. And I've bought these before, all crammed in there, pulled them apart, planted them, and they've been perfectly fine. So I think the cell idea, it works for me. I've been doing it for over 20 years in these cells, giving just enough room, a nice root system. It's a no-brainer for me. I can't be bothered with buying, specialist long root trainers. It's just more expense that I think really we could all do without. We're getting all the compost in there. Nothing special. Just a 3 for £12 from the local garden centre. We'll just drain off the seeds. We can do that in our hand because they're quite large. Get rid of that before it gets blown over. Now I've already filled these up with soil, not all the way to the top. I'm just going to pop one on the top of the surface of the soil. So we'll do that. Centralise the seed. And for those that don't know, sweet peas, or Lathyrus Odoratus, are native to Italy, which I found quite interesting, because you'd always kind of think of them as an English garden plant, and they're not. But there's nothing more English than picking sweet peas on a summer's morning. Now, if you're a florist, which I was for a decade, we used to buy these from Holland, 10 stems of cut sweet peas, and they were very expensive. I think we used to pay cost price about £3, and the retail was about £5-6.99 for 10 stems of sweet peas. Now, if you've ever grown sweet peas and brought them indoors, you'll know that they don't last that long as cut flowers. And there is a reason for that. The reason being, invariably, anything that's scented will put all its energy into attracting insects through the scent it gives off, rather than the longevity of the flower. So you will always find that things that are scented won't last that long. But that's the beauty of sweet peas. You should get 5 or 6 days, as long as you cut them in the morning and bring them into the house. Now we've just laid the seed on the surface. We'll give a little sprinkling of soil just to top these up. Break up any large chunks like that. There we are. We'll get a bit more soil for the rest of these. The soil's already been watered in here, but we can get the watering can and and just tamper those down so the seed doesn't move around. The seed's been soaked, so it shouldn't float to the surface. But again, we want to cover all those seeds up, and don't forget to label them nice and mucky. And we can store those outdoors, put them somewhere sheltered. This time of the year, there's obviously all sorts that can go wrong. The weather's a bit temperamental, as we well know at the moment, so just keep them in a sheltered spot. Keep them watered. You should really only need to water them once or twice in the next few weeks, and just keep an eye on those. If you do decide to bring those indoors, just be aware that they will grow quite fast and they will come up usually in about 8 or 9 days. But just keep those, if you can, on the slightly cooler side, because what you'll get if you bring them indoors is really leggy plants. And when they get leggy, they get spindly, they tend to get black leg, or they can rot off at the base because the plant's just not firm and strong. So you kind of need to grow them hard and get a nice chunky plant. When those first shoots come up, as I was saying to Amanda on Twitter earlier, you just need to pinch them out. It seems really cruel to spend all this time growing lovely plants, finally getting them to germinate and then chopping them off, but taking that main leader stem out will really produce a nice stocky plant, and that's what we're looking for at the moment. We're looking for stocky plants to plant out in another 4 or 5 weeks, so slowly, but there we are. Don't forget, you can win a packet of these just by commenting and subscribing to the channel. We'll send those out in early February, between the 1st and 7th of March, so don't forget to comment and subscribe. Thanks for joining. Ugh, got compost in there. Ugh.